and Michigan Tech. But this is the final session of the IPFW Women's Volleyball Tournament. Here are located at the IPFW Athletic Center. They're getting done with the player introductions, and as soon as that's done, they'll go right to the playing of our Star-Spangled Banner. Andy, I want to talk to you real quick about the keys to the victory for IPFW this evening, but we'll do that as soon as the playing of the national anthem. Playing of our national anthem, I'm going to talk now to Andy Heffron, who's been a seasoned veteran of the IPFW volleyball season. What do you think is going to be the important things for IPFW to get accomplished if they're going to come away with a mark in the win column tonight?
Well, I think they got to keep serving really tough. They served really tough against St. Joe. They disrupted St. Joe's passings, and once the team stops passing, then you get into deep trouble. Also, they played really tough at the net and capitalized on free balls and down balls that they ran their transition really well off those.
Also, they played a lot better against St. Joe because they seemed to run a very slow and methodical offense. Noticed a couple of times when St. Joe's put the ball in the rafters and the much taller IPFW Mastodons were able to just camp under the block. I don't think they'll be able to do that with Northern Kentucky. IPFW has already lost one match in the GLVC to Northern Kentucky. Of course, that was at Northern Kentucky. The records for IPFW going into the match is 24-9 overall and 8-2 in the GLVC, while Northern Kentucky Hill Climbers come into this evening's match with a 16-8 record and also have an identical 8-2 record within the conference. Play is just about ready to start here, so settle down, relax. You're in for an exciting evening of volleyball action here at the IPFW Athletic Center. Lisa Serra back to serve for the first point of this evening's match. Miscommunicated set. And J.B. Brown hits the first ball out of bounds.
That set looked to be a little low, and she's got to get that ball up to the middle hitter so she can put those away.
That's a tentative start for IPFW as Northern Kentucky serves for the first time in the match. Second option to Gretchen Albersmeyer. And a nice kill from the outside for the Northern Kentucky. That's the first point of the match in this best-of-5 classic. Going back to serve for Northern Kentucky is Molly Messmer. She'll be running the offense for the Hill Climbers this evening. Goes back to serve. Smith and Albersmeyer back to receive. Nice pass from Smith. Wilder to Brown from the runner. It's dug though. But the Hill Climbers are unable to respond to the challenge. Side out IPFW. Gretchen Albersmeyer back to serve. It'll be interesting to note how quickly IPFW jumps out to see how quick and crisp they are this evening.
It'd be nice if they came out to a quick start.
Free ball transition to Brown, and she immediately gets the kill. Walter and Brown, a great combination earlier this afternoon, as you noted on the previous broadcast here on Channel 23. They defeated the St. Joe Pumas 3-0 in what can only be described as a yawner. Albersmeyer to serve. Float serve, not all that difficult. Mesmer sets outside. Nice up by Joni Smith. Albersmeyer play it over, but she knocks it out of bounds. Side out for the Hill Climbers. Back to serve for Northern Kentucky's Prudy Downs. This evening's officials, down referee is Lauren Giebert. And the up man on the ladder is Dan Brandt. IPFW having a little difficulty passing the ball. Big high set in the middle, but it is blocked. And they'll call a left as they try to play the ball out, but Dan Brandt, in his estimation, thought they miscarried the ball. Jamie Brown back to serve. Tough float serve. Set high and outside. And the ball is hit out of bounds by number 22, Jennifer Quast. Really looked like she mishit that ball. Looked like a bad 4-iron. Brown back to serve again. IPFW up 2 points to 1. Big high set in the middle, off the block. Zara passes the free ball. And a Plummer. I thought there was a double contact. The down referees called that, but it's up into the up referee's decision. But apparently they concur, and it'll be called a double hit on the middle hit by Jenna Plummer. Substitution now coming into the ball game for Northern Kentucky is Paula Glazier. And for number 22, Jennifer Quast. Joni Smith hitting outside. IPFW up 2 points to 1. And IPFW comes away. Serving for the IPFW Volley Dons is the setter, the general, Chris Wilder. Tip in the inside. Smith will play the free ball. Goes weak side to Zare. As dug by Northern Kentucky. Played up. There'll be a free ball for IPFW. Albersmeyer passes into Plummer, but it doesn't make it over the net. It'll be side out Northern Kentucky. Back to serve is number 17, Sherry Farquhar. Northern Kentucky isn't really that big a team, Andy.
They certainly don't have size on their side.
Lisa Zara is called in the net. It'll be a point for Northern Kentucky. Sherry Farquhar will serve at 2-all in the first game. At deep serve, Joni Smith, the second option. She'll take it all. She'll go coast to coast. And a nice tip, and she'll get the kill. Joni Smith goes back to serve for IPFW. Looking into the bench for instructions. That's a tough deep serve. Mesmer sets a big high set, and they tip over the block. IPFW plays it up to Albersmeyer, who tips. High outside set, off the block. Brown plays it up. Outside to Walter. Albersmeyer, who drills it off the block.
That's got to be the best hit in the book right there. When you hit it off the block, goes out of bounds, defense has no chance.
May not be as emotionally satisfying as putting it straight down, but just as effective. Again, Joni Smith serving for IPFW. Overpass, Albersmeyer, and rips it off. Number 21, Molly Mesmer. Oh, 24, I'm sorry, Prudy Downs. That's a nice rip from Gretchen. Joni Smith still serving 4-2 here in this first game. Mesmer bumps it outside. Joni Smith passes it outside to Zare, who hits the weak side attack. Mesmer sets again. Jennifer Quast's block. Nice up by 32, Paula Glazier. As IPFW leads in this first game again, 5-2. Jumping out to a 3-point lead early. And Joni Smith rips it out of bounds on the service. It's a tough serve, but you got to get those things in.
Northern Kentucky's, they got to bring their sets down a little bit. They're getting too many blockers up on where she's setting the ball.
Albersmeyer passes over the net. And 24, Prudy Downs rips it straight down, the left-hander. Still serving will be Jennifer Quast. Quast, a senior from Crestview Hills, Kentucky. Albersmeyer, tight pass for Wilder. Unable to handle it as Prudy Downs rips it straight down.
IPFW letting them back into the game. 2 overpasses.
Well, they're tough serves, but I think Gretchen's got to keep it off the net for the shorter Chris Wilder. That's a great serve. IPFW unable to handle the tough serve right there, as it's 5-all, even in the match. That's a deep serve, and it's just out of bounds. The linesman Tim Peterson calling it out by about 6 inches. Going back to serve for IPFW will be Jenna Plummer. There she is. Nice deep serve. Easily passed though. Quick side attack, but I don't even think it went. I don't think even the referees thought that it went. Point for IPFW.
Over the net.
I don't think so either. I think it was too low a set. Northern Kentucky doesn't run a whole lot of quick offense. And that's served out of bounds by Jenna Plummer. Side out for NKU. Substitution in for the Hill Climbers. Number 23 checks back into the ball game. We don't have her on her roster. Not sure what her name is, but she comes in for Paula Glazier. And another bad pass from Gretchen Albersmeyer.
Starting to have our problems passing.
That's not a real good sign for the Volleyball. Good pass. Oh, and a big hit from the outside. I don't know who that girl is.
Well, it looks like the Volleyball got their hands full now.
Oh, and it's another bad pass. And IPFW seems to be crumbling under this Hill Climber pressure. It's still early in the match now. But IPFW has got to receive better passing from their 2 primary passers. Wilder outside to Albersmeyer. They got to get a critical side out here. Mesmer bumps it out. And the ball is counted good. Just received some pain on that one. As Northern Kentucky is jumped to a 9-6 lead here in this first game. Smith passes to the middle. Second option is there. That's a nice rip, but it's dug. Oh my goodness, it rolled right off the block. Wasn't even that strong a hit, Andy.
Yeah, it wasn't. Seemed like those are height of time, and that kind of fooled her.
What should you do in that case? Should you just keep your hands out of the way, let it roll over?
Oh, I'd just hold a little bit longer on the block.
Again, IPFW having their passing problems. Smiley passes it up. Prudy Downs, she's blocked. And set outside, 23. We have no idea who this woman is. Second option is there, she's blocked.
Boy, 23 came in and she's playing some.
And Coach Ball has just about seen enough. He calls a quick timeout. Northern Kentucky is up in this first game, 11-6. IPFW is in total disarray, apparently.
Well, basically, they got to start passing the ball or else they're going to be packing their bags.
Well, they also got to do something with the balls that they are getting. It doesn't seem like they're running a real coherent offense. It all seems to be springing off that pass. If they don't get a pass, they're in deep trouble. And that's the end of the timeout. The principals are climbing back into the ring, if you will. Northern Kentucky still serving. Up in this first game, 11-6. It's a deep serve. Another bad pass from Joni Smith. Wilder plays it up. Oh, and that's an excellent side out from Gretchen Albersmeyer. Rips it off the deep right defensive player. It'll be a side out for IPFW, who desperately needs some points in order to even up this game. Lisa Zara back to serve. And it's a tough serve. Mesmer to set. High into Prudy Downs. That's a great up by Zare. Waller's able to play it up, but not able to bring it over to the net. Side out for Northern Kentucky. Into the ball game. Number 17, Sherry Farker back in the game for Sarah Smiley. And serving is Molly Mesmer for the Hill Climbers. Tony Smith passing. There'll be a back row attack for Lisa Zare. It's easily dug though. High outside. Dug by Zare. Plummer puts it right into the net. That's got to be disappointing, Andy.
Yeah, the Volleyball are certainly not getting it going here.
Northern Kentucky extends its lead to 12-6 here in the first game here at the IPFW Athletic Center. And Albersmeyer puts it right in the net too. Everything seems to be going wrong for the Volleyball.
Well, the IPFW is making all the mistakes. They're not challenging the other team to do anything. They're just making all the mistakes.
They're not forcing the issue, and they're passing very badly. It's just characterized by that bad pass by Joni Smith. Coach Ball has to be beside himself with this performance so far. We might see serious notebooks flying on this one. They seem so tentative passing, Andy.
Yeah, they're not passing at all.
Quick side attack. Smith with a great up. And Albersmeyer, who rips it down the front of the block. It'll be side out for IPFW.
Well, it's important now that IPFW gets some momentum back and start getting it going at least for the next game.
Well, they're down. They're serving 6-14. Northern Kentucky had a chance to close out the first game here at the Mastodons. And a great block by Smith and Brown. That makes the score 7-14. Albersmeyer still serving for the Volleyball. They got to start. They got to just generate something. High outside set. Played up. It's got to be played over. Plummer plays it over. Mesmer. High inside set. Outside to Smith, who rolls it over the block. Doesn't really take a full swing at that. IPFW will get another free shot at it. Free ball transition. Into Smith. She's also easily dug. Tight set. And Mesmer jumps into the net. That'll be another point for IPFW. IPFW still down in the first game, 8-14. Albersmeyer with her third serve. That's a deep serve, almost out. Mesmer in quick, but it's blocked. Prudy Downs, unexpectedly, but puts it down in the deep left corner. Side out, Northern Kentucky, who will be serving for the first game. Number 24, Prudy Downs, back to serve.
Northern Kentucky's playing some good defense, and IPFW's got to start doing the same.
They got to start with a pass. IPFW definitely has to start with a pass. It has completely let them down. And that ball is just out. Jamie Brown back to serve, trying to salvage the first game. Deep serve, nice serve by Jamie Brown. Mesmer sets outside, who rolls. And it's just out of bounds. Point for IPFW, who seem to be closing the gap here in this first game, down 9-14. Brown, another nice deep serve. Mesmer back setting. And it's straight down, number 23. We don't know who this girl is, but she's playing like she was born to play this game. In for his number 32, Paula Glazier, to play back row. Serving for the first game. IPFW desperately needs a pass right there. Albersmeyer to Plummer. And she gets the kill. That's what we need to see from IPFW if they're going to come away with one tonight. Wilder back to serve. And she serves it about 2 feet out of bounds.
Boy, that's tough. That's not a good time to serve out.
I don't think there really is a good time to serve out, Andy.
This is true, as we both know.
Our good friend Chris Marlowe. Talked to him just the other day on the extension. Albersmeyer with another bad pass. She's got to be disappointed. Northern Kentucky gets a free swipe at it. And Dan Brandt calls a lift on, I think, Jamie Brown's handling of the ball. And Northern Kentucky comes away with the first win in this best-of-5 series here tonight at the IPFW Athletic Center. Northern Kentucky leads the games 1-0. We'll be up for game number 2 in just a second as we switch ends here at the Athletic Center. Well, Andy, what has IPFW got to do?
Well, first off, they got to learn how to pass, because they got to get that ball up where Chris can start running the offense. If you don't pass, you can't run your offense, and you're just going to start free balling it over, and the other team will run transition and take advantage of you. So they definitely got to start passing the ball a lot better.
Northern Kentucky is not really running anything that the IPFW has not seen before. It all seems very slow, lackadaisical offense from Northern Kentucky, but it seems to be effective.
It does. They're setting these balls up into the rafters in the middle, and you just don't see that at the college level. And IPFW isn't taking advantage of that either. They're just not playing defense behind those balls, and they're getting burned.
IPFW seems to be very slow in the reaction department this evening. Do you think it could be because they had such an easy time of it earlier this afternoon?
I know that happens when we play a lot too. If you're playing a really easy team and then all of a sudden you run up against somebody who's a little bit more your competition, you seem to be a little more tentative and not aggressive as you should be.
IPFW was certainly not its crispest in the earlier session playing St. Joe. They easily won, but they had their moments. I thought they were able to do whatever they wanted to, but they weren't really characterized by the crispness, the team play that IPFW needs to take to win this match tonight. And we're just about ready to start the second game here at the IPFW Women's Volleyball Tournament.
Well, I think IPFW will probably calm down now and start getting in their rhythm, hopefully. That would be a nice thing to see. They got to come out and score some points right away.
Well, it certainly can't be opening jitters. It's way into the IPFW Lady Dons season, and I'm sure they've been here before. IPFW and Northern Kentucky going essentially with the same lineup that they went with the first game. Let me run down the starting lineup for Northern Kentucky in case you'd missed it. Number 10 is Julie Thaman. Number 20 is Tracy Wisman. Number 21 is Molly Messmer. Number 22 is Jennifer Quast. Number 24 is Prudy Downs. And number 30 is Ann Fishburne. Albersmeyer, strong outside hit. Wilder into the middle, and Brown responds. They need more of that, don't they, Andy?
Yes, they do. They've got to be able to run that middle ball because it hasn't been stopped this whole tournament. They've been running the middle at will. And that all starts with the pass being right up there where she can do that.
The starters for IPFW Lady Dons. Number 6 is Gretchen Albersmeyer. Number 5 is Jamie Brown. Number 13 is Jana Plummer. Number 10 is Joni Smith. Number 1 is Chris Wilder. And number 12 is Lisa Zare, the senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And uncharacteristic sloppy play from Northern Kentucky. IPFW jumps out to a quick lead, 1-0 in this second game. Albersmeyer back to serve. Nice serve. Northern Kentucky not able to really handle it with well intentions. And it's hit into the net. Point for IPFW. Good shot of Gretchen there. That's a nice float service. Northern Kentucky's passing seems to have broken down. Oh, but they'll call a lift on that play. They say Jamie Brown threw that ball. Sort of a tough call.
That is a real hard one to call because nowadays refs sometimes let that go.
Well, this is the college game. You guys sort of expect some of that. Wilder outside to Smith, who finds the block. Northern Kentucky plays it up. You'll see a tip there. Northern Kentucky starting to tip and look confused as IPFW. Joni Smith tips it for the kill as Jamie Brown will go back to serve. As seems like Northern Kentucky's pass service seems to be hurting them a little bit now.
Yes.
And there you go, another bad pass from Northern Kentucky. Jamie Brown into the middle for Plummer. Tugged nicely by Northern Kentucky. They'll free ball it over. Free ball transition for IPFW. Into Plummer again. And Northern Kentucky unable to keep the ball. Point for IPFW. Jamie Brown serves at 3-0. IPFW up in this second game. Nice serve by Jamie Brown outside. Played out by Albersmeyer. Zare over. Mesmer sets, weak side. Outside to Joni Smith, off the block. Played out by Prudy Downs. Sloppy play by the Volleyball, but on both sides too. Free ball transition again. Into Plummer. Dug again. Outside set. And again, she gets the kill, number 23, this mystery woman. Madam X, if you will.
That was probably the first long rally of this match. It was nice to see one. That first game went by real quick. Probably one of the fastest games I've ever seen.
Again, another substitution for Northern Kentucky. Number 32, Paula Glazier, comes back into the game. And probably serves it right into the net. Going back to serve for IPFW. The setter for the Volley Dons, Chris Wilder. Passed up by Glazier. Quick attack. And Dan Brandt calls the set bad. That'll be IPFW's point. They're leading in the second game, 4-0 now. Wilder again back to serve. Having trouble with the set. And it looks like Northern Kentucky's offense is seeming to break down there, Andy.
Well, that all happens like what happened to IPFW. It starts with a pass. And they are not passing that ball very well.
And the head coach for the Northern Kentucky Hill Climbers, Velma Lemon, wants to call timeout, wants to talk to the folks and see what exactly is going on. This quick reminder from the Volleyball Booster Club that they're going on a road trip with the Volleyball for the University of Indianapolis game. Basically, they'll be seeking their 4th GLVC title, and they'll be sending a bus down to the University of Indianapolis, provided $8 for the trip. You need to make your reservations with the athletic department. The person to call is Joe Hanna through Farm Bureau Insurance, 481-6643. That number again, 481-6643. If you folks are interested in supporting the Volley Dons, they look to capture their 4th GLVC title. Chris Wilder again serving in the second game, up 5-0 over the Northern Kentucky. Zare with a nice dig. Plummer sets to Joni Smith, who is dug by Glazier. Another nice dig by Albersmeyer from a nice rip. As a tip inside. Smith rolls again. Dug up by Ann Fishburne. Fishburne again attacks. Dug by Brown out to Smith. Off the block. And it will drop for the kill. IPFW point.
Crowd's starting to like that volley.
Speaking of the crowd, it's a nice crowd on hand here at the Mastodons. A little bigger than the crowd of 3.2 million this afternoon. It's about 250 people here. Another nice block from IPFW. But they'll say it never went, it never crossed the plane of the net. It'll be another point for IPFW, who is placing Northern Kentucky on the schneid here in the second game. Pass by Prudy Downs. She'll set in the middle. A brilliant dig by Jamie Brown, and IPFW is still in this rally. As they set it over the, but IPFW is completely napping on that one. Wasn't expecting that second ball to come over.
Boy, that's a nice play. A setter's always got to keep that defense alert.
Going back to serve, number 17, Sherry Farquhar, who serves an ace for the Hill Climbers. Their first
Charlie Ball didn't like that one.
They're off the schneid now. Sort of would have liked to have seen that, wouldn't you have, Andy?
Yeah, I would have liked to seen it.
Well, at least on our side. Farquhar again back to serve. Deep serve, and she misses the court with that one. Side out for IPFW. Substitution for the Hill Climbers coming into the ballgame is number 10, Julie Thaman. Back in for number 17, Sherry Farquhar. Adding a little defensive back row help. Smith again to serve. Bad pass from Northern Kentucky. High set in the middle. Oh, I think that was a very bad call by Dan Brandt, but it'll stand. Doesn't matter what I think. He'll call that lift on Chris Wilder. Back to serve for Northern Kentucky is number 22, Jennifer Quast. Nice outside hit. You've noticed something, haven't you, Andy, that the passing for IPFW is marked considerably better.
Oh, definitely. They're starting to pass the ball. I think they settled down now. Sometimes you're just out of your rhythm passing.
Plummer to serve. High weak side attack. A nice dig by Joni Smith, but IPFW is unable to control the ball. It'll be side out, Northern Kentucky. It'll be a substitution for Northern Kentucky. Number 23 checks back into the ball game. Number 32, Paula Glazier, goes back into the ball game. We'll have that name for you before the evening's out, I hope. And a nice kill out of the middle by Jamie Brown. IPFW gets the side out, leading the second game 7-1. Zare to serve. High set to Prudy Downs. And she rips the ball out of bounds. Point IPFW. Lisa Zare to serve once again. Set outside from Mesmer to 23, who rips it off the block. Northern Kentucky looking to climb back into this second game, down 1-8 here at the finals of the IPFW Women's Volleyball Tournament. Short serve from Northern Kentucky. Set outside, and Gretchen Albersmeyer rips it out of bounds. No touch. Point for Northern Kentucky, excuse me. Smith again pass, nice path, the runner from Jamie Brown, who rips it off the block out of bounds. Side out for IPFW. That's a nice move by Jamie Brown. You really don't see that a whole lot in the college game.
No, you don't, but that's been working really nice for her. She should keep doing that. I don't think it's been stopped yet.
She's a good, strong athlete. Not a whole lot of players can get away with that. And Joni Smith absolutely rips an overpass. She got dug, but I think she caused severe internal damage on that one. Again, Albersmeyer back to serve. IPFW leads the second game 9-2. Northern Kentucky looking a little disoriented. Backside attack, expecting somebody to be there, but wasn't. And I'm not exactly what that call was from the up referee, Dan Brandt. But it'll be side out for Northern Kentucky. Back to serve is Prudy Downs. And they call number 5, Jamie Brown, into the net.
She got a little aggressive there. Tried to do a little too much, but that sometimes happens.
Almost a do-or-die situation on that one. She had free reign at the net. And Prudy Downs probably responds by slipping the ball out of bounds. I gotta stop saying that. That rhymes too much. Number 5, Jamie Brown to serve. Nice pass from Prudy Downs. And number 23 gets the kill once again.
Boy, Northern Kentucky is just playing high ball with IPFW, and for some reason that is working. They have hardly run any quick attack anywhere on the court.
They're certainly not fooling IPFW, but I can't believe that they're going to out-muscle the Volleyball. Nice attack there, combination. Albersmeyer. Tight set. Scrapping at the net. IPFW Northern Kentucky still in this rally. Brown passing the transition to Smith, who rips it off the block for the side out. Wilder will serve for IPFW in this second game, leading 9-3. Deep serve from Wilder, and it's just out.
Chris has been having some problems serving lately. It seemed like in last match he served a couple out of bounds at crucial times.
Northern Kentucky to serve, number 17, Sherry Farquhar again. Albersmeyer, nice pass, it's a workable pass. And Smith rips the transition straight down. Well, maybe not exactly straight down, but hard enough anyway. And she'll go back to serve. Substitution for Northern Kentucky, number 10, Julie Thaman checks back into the ball game. Mesmer, weak side attack. And it drops into the middle of the court. IPFW seems very sluggish this evening, Andy.
They do. They're not playing good defense right now. I know it's sometimes hard to get going, but they gotta pick those balls up.
If you were Coach Ball, what would you say to them right now?
That's a good question. You got me on that one. I think basically they gotta keep passing, and keep playing tough at the net.
Nice weak side kill by Lisa Zare. Serving for the Volleyball, Jenna Plummer. IPFW still leading in the second game, 9-3. Mesmer, high, weak side set. Mesmer setting again to Prudy Downs. And she finds the corner for a side out.
Starting to see a lot of side out ball right now. Both teams not yet got momentum going for themselves.
They may still be finding their legs. That first game went awfully quick. And Northern Kentucky does IPFW the favor by serving into the net. Zare to serve. Difficult pass for Northern Kentucky, and Brown.
I think he had a quick whistle there.
Inadvertent whistle. Dan Brandt checks himself, and he's going to call it a play over. He thought after Brown ripped it into the net that the point had ended, but he didn't count on Gretchen Albersmeyer covering the hit and playing it up, so they'll replay it over. Zare serving, and she serves the ace. IPFW jumping out to a commanding 10-3 lead, and the head coach for Northern Kentucky, Velma Lemon, wants to call a timeout. Their hill climbers are down 7 points in this second game. Andy, IPFW's passing has gotten a great deal better.
Not only has their passing gotten better, but their serving is starting to come along really well. They've gotten a couple service aces, and that'll really put a team in the tank if you start acing them off the court like that.
And I think Northern Kentucky has also helped IPFW's cause. Their passing seems to have broken down a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit too much overconfidence after they beat IPFW down at their place at Northern.
Yeah, that sometimes can happen.
Yeah.
Get overconfident out on the court.
Zare still serving. 10-3 in the second. And they're calling Mesmer into the net. There'll be another point for IPFW. Lisa Zare still serving for the Volleyball. Pass for Northern Kentucky. Into Prudy Downs. It's played up off the block. And the
clipboard's taking a beating. Coach didn't like that one.
Up referee calls Gretchen Albersmeyer for the lift, giving the hill climbers the side out. Back to serve is Mesmer for the hill climbers. And Albersmeyer hits it just long. Point for Northern Kentucky. That's a bad pass from Joni Smith. Caught Brown unaware. Another point for Northern Kentucky. 5-11 in the second. Again, Mesmer serving. The runner to Brown. Northern Kentucky plays it, but unable to keep it on IPFW's side. It'll be IPFW ball. Albersmeyer to serve. The pass weak side to Prudy Downs, and it is just long.
Boy, that was close.
Northern Kentucky arguing with the call. They thought it might have been a touch. but they won't get any sympathy from Dan Brandt. Point for IPFW. They're leading 12-5. Albersmeyer looking to serve out the match. The game, rather. And Sherry Farquhar rolls it in the net. Another point for the Volleyball. 13-5 in the second. It's a deep serve. Northern Kentucky passes quick. IPFW still scrapping in the net.
Nice try. Like to see that hustle out there.
Northern Kentucky ball. Back to serve is number 24, Trudy Downs. Outside set to Joni Smith. And has wiped off the Northern Kentucky block. That's another side out for IPFW. Jamie Brown to serve. There she is. She'll be serving right into your living room. And almost served it into somebody's living room, as that ball's just out as well. Another substitution for Northern Kentucky. Back into the ballgame is Paula Glazier, who will be serving for the Hill Climbers. Ball hit out of bounds. Chris Waller will be serving at 13-5 in the second. Northern Kentucky is leading the match 1-0, but IPFW is looking to even up the score. Mesmer setting it outside. And it's a strong kill from Ann Fishburne, hitting from that strong side. Side out, Northern Kentucky. Back to serve is Sherry Farquhar. Ten-foot line pass from Albersmeyer, but Zare rips it right off the block into the deep court. Side out for IPFW.
Our linesman, Tim Peterson, almost took a facial. He just got those hands up in time.
Volleyball is a very dangerous sport, Andy. You know that.
Yes.
Whether you're playing or not.
You got to keep your eye on the game.
Bad pass from Northern Kentucky. IPFW gets a free ball out of it. They go to the quick attack, and it finds the deep right corner. Tim Peterson calls that one in. Point for IPFW. 14-5. Joni Smith serving for the second game, looking to even it up. Tight pass. Mesmer tips. Albersmeyer to Zare. Mesmer rips it over the net on the second attack. Zare into Smith. That's Albersmeyer. And she rips it off the block as well, as IPFW closes out the second game, winning 15-5.
Well, there was a complete turnaround. IPFW looked like the team that was passing, and Northern Kentucky turned right and did exactly what IPFW was doing in the first game.
Can you really expect a seesaw battle like this, though? I expected, as being 8-2, both teams coming into tonight's match being 8-2, I really didn't expect to see a seesaw match like this. I expected to see more evenly contested match, but then again, it's still relatively young. It's only 1-1. We'll be starting the third game in just a little bit. But aren't you kind of surprised? I didn't expect one team to dominate the other so easily.
Yeah, I just think when one team's playing really well, the other team is not, and that's due to momentum. But usually, I would expect these teams to be a close game, right down to the wire. We might start seeing that, though.
You're right, Andy. It's still early, relatively early in the match, relatively early in the evening. We got a good shot there of IPFW head coach Arnie Ball talking to his Volleyball, and
I'm sure he's telling them not to let up and get right back out there and keep it going, because they gotta get away from whatever they did in that first game. They gotta think about what they did in the second game and just continue it.
Well, what they did different in the second game was that they were passing a lot better. I don't know if Northern Kentucky was serving all that much easier, but I think all that was needed was Jamie Joni Smith and Gretchen Albersmeyer was able to pass a lot better than they did that first game. They really had to capitalize on Northern Kentucky's ball handling errors and mistakes to really take it to the hill climbers.
Well, especially IPFW is more reliant on quick type offense with Chris running all the different hitters, and it seems to me like Northern Kentucky's more of just a high ball team, so they probably don't have to rely so much on their pass as much as IPFW has to.
I want to remind everybody out there listening in your living rooms, you're listening to another fabulous Channel 23 sports presentation. The entire visual experience here on Channel 23. And if everybody's got their 3D specs on at home, all the more enjoyment for you, the viewing public. Lisa's there, starting it off for the Volleyball here in the third game in this best-of-5 series here at the IPFW Women's Volleyball Tournament, brought to you live by Channel 23.
Gretchen showing how strong she is at the net there. It's one of my favorite plays.
Lisa's there, again to serve, up 1-0 early. And she serves that one just a little bit too short. Side out for Northern Kentucky. Weak side attack, the runner from Jamie Brown. Zero will play it to Albersmeyer. And she rips it off the deep court defensive player. Side out for IPFW. Albersmeyer to serve. Nice serve from Albersmeyer. Into Prudy Downs. Albersmeyer will play it. And Brown rips the quick attack from Wilder. A new face in for IPFW. Number 3, Denise Schumann, comes into the ball game for Coach Arnie Ball's Volleyball. Gretchen Albersmeyer again to serve. Nice pass from Northern Kentucky. Great dig by Lisa Zare as tipped up at the net. Strong play by Jamie Brown, who's able to wipe it off the block for the point for IPFW. As IPFW leads the third game 3-0. Gretchen Albersmeyer still serving. Bad pass from Northern Kentucky. They'll go weak side at Prudy Downs. Finds nothing but twine. Another point for the Volleyball. Welcome back, folks. You really haven't missed too much. Still 4, serving nothing here at the IPFW Athletic Center. Jamie Brown to serve. Strong attack from the middle. And I believe they're calling number 13, Jenna Plummer, into the net. Couple of side outs during that station break. And another substitution for Northern Kentucky. Again, Paula Glazier coming back to the ball game. Glazier to serve. Albersmeyer, nice pass up to the net. And Plummer rips it straight down on a nice 31 ball.
Boy, that was a nice play. They're not going to stop that if they keep passing that ball like that, and that was a beautiful set.
That's a great set by Chris Wilder. You know they're on top of their game when they're able to execute that well. Wilder back to serve. Bad pass from Northern Kentucky, having a little difficulty. They pass it right into the subdividing net. That'll be a point for IPFW. You may notice that subdividing net, that another match is also simultaneously going on between St. Joe and Michigan Tech while this is going on. Going back to the action, Northern Kentucky, number 17, Sherry Farquhar, hits it long for another point for IPFW. IPFW has jumped to a commanding 6-0 lead here in this third game. It's all knotted up at 1 here in this third game. High, middle attack. Jamie Brown will play the free ball outside to Smith, who rolls it. It's dug by Northern Kentucky. Weak side attack, punched over by Farquhar. Second option to Zaire, and it's ripped just out of bounds. Side out for the Hill Climbers.
Chris really set that play up nice. It was just too bad it got hit out of bounds, but it seemed to be an effective play.
Zaire doesn't seem to be real sharp on her game either.
She's getting a lot of, well,
outside to Zaire. And Ann Fishburne rips it into the net. Side out for IPFW. Another substitution for the Hill Climbers. Checking into the action is number 11, Sarah Smiley, in for Farquhar. Smith will serve for the Volleyball. Overpass, Albersmeyer with a strong kill. It'll be a point for IPFW, leading the third game 7-0. Northern Kentucky's passing has really seemed to be giving them trouble, Andy. Smith again serving. Short serve. Weak pass. Into the middle. She'll go weak side to Zaire, who hits it right through the block.
That's a sign of a good player right there. After you hit one out of bounds, you come back and make sure you put the next one down.
Such are the fortunes of volleyball. The senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, gives the Volleyball an 8-0 lead here in the second game at IPFW's Athletic Center here in the evening session of the women's volleyball tournament. If you were with us earlier, you saw IPFW beat the Pumas of St. Joseph 3-0, and are en route right now to trying to close out this third game in this best-of-5 series with Northern Kentucky. Andy, is there anything you noticed so far in this game that really characterizes this as being good for IPFW?
Well, I think IPFW is now getting right into their offense, and Northern Kentucky is trying to run that high ball, and they're just that's not going to work against IPFW. You got to have a quick attack.
I don't know if it's the strong serving of IPFW or the weak passing of Northern Kentucky, but they seem to be really having their difficulties.
And they're working that Schneid. And the Schneid again.
They're looking for the Schneid. They're up 9-0 here in the third. Joni Smith hoping to keep the Schneid. Sets high from Mesmer. It's Doug. Wilder keeps it in play to Zaire, who again rips it off the block out of bounds.
That was a beautiful play by Chris. Retrieve that ball and keep from going underneath the net.
Nice play by Zaire to rip it off the block as well. Smith again serving 10-0. Prudy Downs having a little difficulty with that serve. It'll be rolled over by Glazier, I'm sorry. And tipped over. Mesmer plays it up with the free ball. IPFW, they need to connect. And Plummer with a strong kill out of the middle.
Boy, they're going to run that all day long.
Well, as long as the pass there, as long as the ball control's there, there ain't no reason you can't do that. Pardon my grammar. Smith still serving, 11-0. Tip from Mesmer, it's put right back into her face. Outside, Smith passes. Wilder outside to Albersmeyer, who's dug nicely. And another block by IPFW in the middle. Jenna Plummer all over that ball.
Chris is setting really smart right now after she's run some middle. Now Northern Kentucky's committing in the middle. She's kicking it outside and getting one-on-one.
12-0. 12 Schneid here in the third game here at the Mastodons. And everything seems to be going wrong for Northern Kentucky now. How quickly fortunes can turn in volleyball. Incredible. And as we say that, Northern Kentucky calls timeout. Again, once again, the score here in this third game, IPFW 13, Northern Kentucky Schneid
You're liking that word, aren't you?
I like Schneid. I like Schneid. If you can't say Schneid, I don't want to do this. You know, it's. Brief timeout as Northern Kentucky tries to rally the troops, tries to circle the wagons, as everything is just going wrong for the Hill Climbers. Still serving for the Volleyball. Joni Smith. Nice transition from Gretchen Albersmeyer. That's a great up, but they'll call 4 hits for Dan Brandt. We'll want to remind everybody that you're watching another special Channel 23 sports presentation. And Zare finds the deep left corner, keeping Northern Kentucky scoreless.
That's a beautiful shot, right in the corner. No defensive players are playing right in those corners.
Jenna Plummer checking out of the ball game. Denise Schumann coming in, substitution for IPFW, giving them a little more defensive backcourt help. Coach Ball and Tim Heffron giving her a little moral support on the side as she comes out for Jenna Plummer. And the ball is called good.
Boy, that was close. Must have caught part of the line.
Joni Smith had a chance to play that ball, but uncharacteristic, she seemed to let that ball go thinking it was out. Another substitution, number 23, checks back into the ball game from Northern Kentucky. Strong serve from Northern Kentucky. And a 31 ball from Jamie Brown. And she rips a nice set from Chris Wilder. IPFW seems to be hitting on all cylinders this game.
Short serve, cross court.
13 Schneid here in the third, and it's blocked. Northern Kentucky still in the game, in the rally, excuse me. But IPFW unable to dig that ball. Side out for Northern Kentucky. Back into the ball game is Sherry Farquhar for the Hill Climbers. Serving is Mesmer, who hits it wide. Albersmeyer goes back to serve for the Volleyball. Tim Heffron, he's really been a Cinderella story, hasn't he, for that?
He brings a lot of spark to the IPFW program, I believe. He's doing a nice job helping out with the women's team, too.
Action continuing here at the Mastodon. And a nice shot. Brown faked like she was going to hit it, but Northern Kentucky completely dazed and confused here. 14 Schneid. As the Northern Kentucky is on the floor right now, they seem to be missing a contact. Action is stopped here at the Mastodon while they look for Lord knows what on that floor. Maybe it's not missing at all now. There's that view from the blimp of Gretchen Albersmeyer. Another shot of IPFW's huddle. Action is temporarily stopped here as we have sort of an injury timeout, so to speak. We seem to be looking for a contact. Now we don't know if it's on the floor or if it's still in her eye.
Well, I've had that happen to me one time. Get hit right in the face and out comes the contact. It's not a good thing to happen.
And she seems to be wanting to play on. If you hear crunching on your TV sets at home, you'll know what has happened. Gretchen Albersmeyer to serve for the Schneid. And they go right at her. Out to Farquhar, who rolls. Wilder outside to Smith.
There it is.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
The Schneid.
The Schneid. IPFW wins the third game, 15-0. Is this appreciative? IPFW athletic crowd gives them a standing ovation. Northern Kentucky just had a world of problems in that game.
They just couldn't get anything going at all, which obviously resembled the score.
And there's a shot of probably the world's most dangerous concession stand. That's it, boys. Wave to your folks at home. Tell them what you're doing at college. There you go. There you go. That's right, I'm serving hot dogs for a living. And it's 2-1 here at the IPFW Athletic Center, here in the evening session of the women's volleyball tournament. I'm Bob Kramer, this is Andy Heffron, and you're watching another exclusive Channel 23 presentation, the home of IPFW Athletics. There we are. Maybe we should say hi to our mom. And hi, Mom.
Hey, you're in my face.
Oh, I'm sorry, but yeah, but that's our satellite feed. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're scoring at home, IPFW leads to a 2-1 lead. IPFW has won the last two games, 15-5, 15-9, after Northern Kentucky has won the first game. IPFW has bounced right back to convincingly win the last two games. Andy Heffron, are you impressed with the Volleyball so far?
Yes, I am. They've really come out these past two games and played awfully well. The first game just looked like they were in a coma, but woke up in a hurry.
Thought IPFW might have tried to mail this one in, but I don't think Coach Arnie Ball is going to let that happen. As we're starting to wind down the intermission between the third and fourth game, I want to remind everybody that there is a trip being sponsored by the IPFW Volleyball Boosters. They're sending a bus down to University of Indianapolis. The trip's about $8. There'll be free munchies and drink and food. Now, if you're interested in this, the phone number to call is 481-6643. And reserve your seat now, as space is limited. That number again is 481-6643, and help support your Volleyball as they look to capture their fourth GLVC title.
Looks like we have a new face in the game for the IPF Volleyball, Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, the freshman. Another new face for IPFW, the athletic program. Jamie Brown, the winner. Albersmeyer rips it off the block, but it's called and left off Northern Kentucky. Sherry Farquhar unable to return the ball. That'll be a side out for IPFW.
IPFW got to be sure that they don't start relaxing out there. That sometimes can happen after you win 15-0.
Well, what's also possible is they may go for the double schneid.
I don't believe I've ever seen that happen.
I've never seen the double schneid either, but one can only hope. 23 is called into the net. Albersmeyer still serving 1-0. Here in this fourth game, IPFW leading 2-1 here in this evening session of the women's volleyball tournament. Oh, that's another blocking.
That was a beautiful block. She penetrated over the net very nicely and put the ball straight down.
That looked like a triple block, didn't it, Andy? It looked like Northern Kentucky's just absolutely not fooling anybody.
Yeah, they do not have any quick attack whatsoever.
Albersmeyer serves it wide. It'll be Pretty Downs serving for the Hill Climbers, down 0-2 and 1-2 here in this fourth game. Pretty Downs to serve. Strong, powerful serve. Albersmeyer unable to pass it. It'll be the first point in 2 games for the Hill Climbers.
That was a nice top spin serve. Sometimes can throw off the passers when you whip one of those in on them.
As John Madden say, she probably hauled off and whacked that one. She went whap. Zare passes the free ball into Brown. It's dug by Britt Downs. Outside. And it's off the block, evening the score 2-2. Nice call by the linesman, Tony Looning. It'll be point for the Hill Climbers. Breaking the action as they look to retrieve the ball. And there it is. Down, still serving. And I think
she basically mishit that ball.
She basically shanked that one. That looked like the dreaded wounded quail serve. Jamie Brown serving for the Volleyball. Deep serve, that might have been out, but Northern Kentucky plays it anyway. Albersmeyer. Wilder out to Smith.
Nice dislocate shot by Joni to keep that ball in play and put it down.
Basically, that was a dislocated shot, wasn't it, Andy? You're very good at that.
Yeah, you turn your shoulder and just, I don't know what else to say. Just turn your shoulder.
Turn your shoulder.
Hit it back into play.
That's a nice dig by Jamie Brown, but unable to find the court. Side out, Northern Kentucky. Back into the ball game, number 32, Paula Glazier in for the Hill Climbers. Both teams coming into tonight's contest 8-2. And this will count in the GLVC standings. Momentarily wiping some of the sweat off the court. Nice pass by Albersmeyer as it goes over, just keeping that ball in play. Vanderwelt into the ball game for IPFW. Another extraordinary dig by Jamie Brown. But Smith just hits it long. Point for Northern Kentucky. 3-all in the fourth. Glacier still serving. That's a deep serve. Albersmeyer passes. Vanderwelt, the 31 connection.
She got a piece of the shoulder there. Not quite a facial.
Chris Wilder, the setter, to serve. Almost gets the ace, but Glazier keeps the ball up. But Ann Fishburne hits the ball into the net. Point for IPFW. They take a 4-3 lead. Good shot at Chris there.
I think she's going to serve it cross court.
As we have just now gotten the ball guy to sit down. Ball off the block. Side out.
Northern Kentucky needs to start serving a little stronger there. Serving over lollipop serves.
Northern Kentucky has gotten extremely tentative.
There's a nice serve.
IPFW having a little difficulty running their offense. Off the block.
I don't know how that high two ball in the middle is successful against IPFW. I would have never thought that would have worked.
Well, Northern Kentucky hits high and off the block, making it very difficult to play behind it, I suppose. Serving for Northern Kentucky, number 17, Sherry Farquhar. Nice pass, weak side to Smith, and she is blocked straight down. Nice block by Fishburne and Jennifer Quast. Point for the Hill Climbers. Nice pass into the middle, and Vanderwelt is blocked as well.
I think that was probably one of the keys to their success in the first game, was serving really tough, and that's what's gotten them back in the lead in this game.
Well, Farquhar's serving has gotten extremely tougher. A lot tougher than that first game.
Looking a lot pretty confused out there on the
And it's a communication breakdown for IPFW as head coach Arnie Ball calls a timeout. His Volleyball are trailing here in this fourth game, 4-7. Northern Kentucky serving a lot better. IPFW passing a lot weaker than they did before. The keys to success, passing and serving.
Basically this match, that's what's been happening.
If you pass and you serve, you'll win. I don't know how clear It has to be. It's really characterized in this match. Farquhar, after the timeout, serving for the Hill Climbers. Another tough serve. IPFW having worlds of trouble with their passing. Mesmer outside to Fishburne. And Fishburne basically hits a space mountain ball.
That was over everything.
I have a feeling she didn't hit it in Kansas anymore. Joni Smith serving for the Volleyball, down 4-7. And that's something Coach Johnny Ball really doesn't want to see out of his players. You're down 4-7. You got to get that ball in the floor. Back to serve, number 22, Jennifer Quast. Better pass for IPFW. And Albersmeyer, strong hit off the block, out of bounds, side out IPFW. Aaron Jones checking into the ball game for the middle hitter, Wendy Vanderwilt. Aaron Jones, a local product. Aaron Jones to serve. Northern Kentucky, weak side attack to Fishburne. It's blocked, but out of bounds. Side out Northern Kentucky. Another substitution for the Hill Climbers.
Gretchen just didn't turn that ball, keep it back inside.
Glacier out of the ball game. Back in is number 23. I'm going to guess that's Linda Schnetzer. Middle tip the ball. Wilder to Brown. Passed up by Fishburne. Out to Schnetzer. Blocked. And Brown, a strong block. She directs that ball straight down. That's a side out for IPFW now. Zare to serve. Looking for the signal from Coach Arnie Ball. The service. Going right after Fishburne. She'll set Prudy Downs, who gets the kill down the fronts of the IPFW blockers. Substitution for Northern Kentucky, Farquhar. And serving for the Hill Climbers, Mesmer.
Uh-oh. Nobody home.
IPFW just having a world of trouble with their passing. Mesmer again serving. Aggressive serving seen from the Hill Climbers. But Brown, after a nice feed from Wilder, gets the kill.
That was a crucial pass by Joni right there. That was a nice play to even keep that ball alive, and it turned out to be a real nice pass.
One of the most difficult things to do in volleyball is to pass, and pass perfectly while you're running, going to your knees, going to your right or left. And again, Prudy Downs get the kill off the front of IPFW blocker. Jamie Brown just unable to play that ball a second time.
IPFW looking a little frustrated. We would have thought after they gave him the schneid in the second game.
Downs a tough serve, Albersmeyer. But the tip from Wilder. Outside to Schnetzer, and she gets the kill. The Hill Climbers jumping to a 9-4 lead here in the fourth. IPFW leading the match 2-1, but the Hill Climbers surging in the fourth, 9-4, as Prudy Downs still serves. Quick attack to Brown, unable to find gold. Zare. Brown is again blocked. Back row attack from Gretchen Albersmeyer. Mesmer will set. And Jennifer Quast with a big kill out of the middle.
Looks like Northern Kentucky's just swinging at the ball really hard right now, and IPFW maybe tipping a little too much.
They're a lot more aggressive than they were in the second and third games, I'll give you that much. But then again, IPFW's passing has broken completely down. As it's another point for Northern Kentucky. Prudy Downs still serving. It's 11-4 here in the fourth, as Northern Kentucky has turned this into a runaway. Again, another bad pass from Joni Smith. Northern Kentucky gets a free ball transition. Farquhar gets the kill.
That brought Coach off the seat for another timeout.
And Coach Ball has seen just about enough. He calls another timeout, a second. You're only allowed 2 in volleyball per game. And what do you think he's going to be telling them?
He is looking like he's talking to the passers right now and telling them they better start passing the ball or else they're not going to win this game. And
Northern Kentucky is serving a lot better than they did their second or third game. What will you do? Just tell them to pop it up, play a lot better ball control?
Yeah, I really wouldn't try and push the ball as much, try and make any fancy sets. Just try and keep it outside and take some good swings at it right now.
Returning back to action, Prudy down serving. Jamie Brown gets a much needed side out for IPFW.
That was a really nice play because, you know, middle attack is a little more, you know, you sometimes don't hit that as often as you can hit a 2-ball a lot harder.
It's also a lot more reliant on a good pass, too. Substitution in for IPFW. Wendy Vanderwilt checks back in for IPFW Volleyball, going in for Aaron Jones. And that's a side out for Northern Kentucky, who also substitutes. Glazier checks back into the ball game, and she'll be serving for the Hill Climbers. Hill Climbers up here in the fourth, 12-4. As IPFW's passing is caught and completely tentative, and that's a strong block from Northern Kentucky. Joni Smith blocked, making the score 13-4. Glazier to serve. Albersmeyer, another tough serve. Wilder has to pass it over. And she gets it right off the defensive player who's unable to play it. And she'll go back to serve.
It's crucial IPFW starts getting some momentum right now and keep them from getting to 14 points.
That's a block from Wendy Vanderwilt and Lisa Zare. 5-13, IPFW hoping to make this one a close. It'll be a strong testament to IPFW if they're able to come back and win this game, but they're not going to do it if they keep serving into the net that way. Want to remind folks out there new to volleyball that you can only score points on your serve. And if you serve it into the net, there's no way you can score points. And Lisa Zara off the net. Wipes it off the Northern Kentucky blockers. It'll be side out.
I think Coach Ball must have told him to start swinging a lot harder at the ball because you're starting to put the ball down now.
Play a lot smarter, too. Joni Smith back to serve. Nice pass from Glazier. They'll run free ball. Weak side to Zare, who wipes it off the block, but it's played by Prudy Downs. Messmer up to Fishburne. Smith will play that one. And Albersmeyer, but it's played by Prudy Downs too. And everybody seems to be staring at the ball on IPFW's side.
Boy, that was crucial. They had a couple chances there to score a point.
Jennifer Quah serving in this fourth game, up 13-5. Looking to close it out. Joni Smith, nice pass. The second option to Zare. And she finds the corner. It'll be IPFW's ball.
Looks like we're going to have a substitution.
Another substitution, Aaron Jones. Written into the lineup once again. Aaron Jones to serve. Outside of Prudy Downs. Seemed to miss hit that ball, but it evades the defenders of IPFW. Once again, side out, Northern Kentucky. Fishburne serving once again. Hard serve, nicely passed. And Lisa Zare hits it into the tape. The referee said it didn't go. It'll be point for Northern Kentucky, who will be serving for the fourth game, but you can't serve it if you serve it into the net. Side out IPFW as they're down 5-14. It'll take nothing short of a miracle for IPFW to get back into this one. Tipped over by Messmer. Messmer again into the middle. And Prudy Downs sips it right in front of the IPFW blockers. And Messmer will go back to serve. Farquhar will check back into the ball game for the Hill Climbers.
Looks like their middle hitter got away with a little bit of a carry on that last time. He called it on IPFW the time before.
The only thing you can hope for in refereeing is hope that it'll go both ways. Albersmeyer. And apparently somebody was called into the net as point for Northern Kentucky. As Northern Kentucky storms right back 15-5. This one's topsy-turvy. I don't know what's going to happen, Andy.
I cannot even think of a prediction for this next game.
It's like two different teams show up for each different game. This is unbelievable. The first one was a lopsided score. IPFW beaten soundly. They come right back, win the second game 15-5. They win the second game 15-Schneid. They're up 2-1. Northern Kentucky comes right back and trounces IPFW 15-5. What do you expect? You expect the unexpected here at the Mastodon. Unbelievable.
We're seeing a roller coaster here tonight. Up and down on IPFW's part. Either they're playing really well or they're not playing at all.
Such inconsistency really has to make both coaches, Arnie Ball and the head coach for Northern Kentucky, Velma Lemon, got to make them very unhappy with their team's performance. But you're in the fifth game. It really doesn't matter what's happened the past 4 games. You got to suck it up for this fifth one.
Just got to put it all behind you. Everything rides on this upcoming game for the whole tournament.
As is customary here in women's volleyball and men's volleyball, any match that goes into the fifth game, there's a 5-minute break between the fourth and fifth games. So there'll be an extended break here at the IPFW Women's Volleyball Tournament. IPFW 2 games to Northern Kentucky's 2 game. We'll have the fifth and deciding game in just a little bit. You're watching another Channel 23 sports exclusive here on the home of IPFW Athletics. I'm Bob Kramer. This is Andy Heffron, my color commentator, and I like to say my roommate as well, my room dog. And
uh-oh, I'm being labeled room dog already.
Oh, now you're ashamed to admit it. Fine, we come on national television or regional television or actually cable television, and already you're ashamed to know that I'm your roommate. Oh, well.
Is Tim a room wolf then, or how does that work?
Well, we'll leave our roommate out of it. Well, the keys for IPFW and Northern Kentucky has obviously been passing and serving the ball. And the 2 wins and 2 losses for both teams, they've completely broken down. It seems the team that's going to come out serving strongly or passing strongly is going to come away with this one.
Both teams are playing very well at the net. Very close battle at the net. I wouldn't really see. I'd just say IPFW is running a lot more quicker attack, but yet Northern Kentucky's hitting the ball really well on their high sets and keeping them in the game.
Well, it seems that Northern Kentucky is not really reliant on the good pass because they can basically pass off the 10-foot line and then just set it high to one of their outside hitters, and it really doesn't matter. While IPFW's offense is really relies on a good pass, and that just hasn't been in there for the 2 losses that they've had to Northern Kentucky this evening. Passing has broken down. They're unable to run their quick transition. They really can't go to their offensive weapons, Jenna Plummer or Jamie Brown. That's a big part of their offense, Andy.
Certainly is. They got some really good middle hitters here at IPFW, and they need to use them.
But you can't really use them when you don't have the pass to fully utilize them. We'll be right back to the action here at the IPFW Athletic Center right after this quick station break. You're listening to Channel 23 Sports. back. I must also remind the viewers that this game is also being FM simulcast here on WIPF, station 114.7, if you wanted to tune in on that. And here we are back at the fifth and deciding game.
I believe they'll switch at 8 points, too, in that fifth game.
They'll switch at 8 points. Once again, IPFW 2 games, MKU 2 games. The fifth and deciding game here in the women's volleyball tournament, which you're watching on Channel 23. Side out, quick right off the bat. Jamie Brown off the block.
That's nice to see. I think the crowd's going to try and pump up IPFW for this victory.
Well, something's got to happen for IPFW. Nice, strong serve. Played up, it's got to be over. Joni Smith. And she finds paint. Point for IPFW. They jump out to a quick 1-0 lead. I'm sorry, that was a side out. And no touch off the block. NKU players arguing. And now it's 1-0. Having a little difficulty with our manual scoreboard. Keith Nergarter seemed to be a little asleep at the helm.
I think you were right before. I think it's 2-0.
It is 2-0. Thank you. I stand corrected. Sit outside. The technical people having worlds of trouble here at IPFW. Long rally. And they say IPFW interfered with the set. It'll be Northern Kentucky ball. I'll get you, Skippy. I'll get you. Set tight to the net. And Jamie Brown all over that one.
Boy, that was a beautiful play. No blockers were up. She put that ball away every time.
Northern Kentucky making cardinal error, jumping with the setter. Although she is front row, she's only, what, 5'4", 5'6"? She's really not going to hurt you down there. I know I'm going to get in trouble for that one, but it'll be side out for Northern Kentucky, hit off the block. Paula Glazier checking in the ball game for Linda Schnitzer. Glazier back to serve. The Hill Climbers down 2-0 in this fifth and deciding game. Joni Smith, the second option, off the blocks, side out.
Guess what? IPFW is passing well again.
They're passing well. That's a very good sign.
That's a nice inside cross by Joni Smith.
Chris Wilder, strong serve, Northern Kentucky. Communication problem. Mental breakdown, Andy Heffron.
Well, it looks like Northern Kentucky getting kind of upset out there on the court. They got to relax and start playing some ball.
Chris Wilder, strong serve. They're up 3-0. Wilder goes to the middle. Plummer is dug. Will be a back row attack. Plummer free balls it over.
Boy,
and Coach Ball's disgusted with that one. That was an easy ball that needs to be played. Sherry Farquhar serving for the Hill Climbers. The action hot and heavy here at the Mastodon. Wilder. Hit out of bounds. Nice pass out to Zaire. Northern Kentucky keeps it alive. The Hill Climbers battling the Mastodons. IPFW mishandling that ball. Side out for no, it's a point for Northern Kentucky. Farquhar still serving. 2-3. That's right, don't adjust your set. Lisa Zaire. Strong outside kill. The Hill Climbers unable to retrieve. Point. Side out. IPFW joining Smith, going back to serve. Side out, sorry folks.
Boy, this one could be a battle. The one we're looking for.
This looks like it could be a slugfest. And in the worst sense of the word. Very bad pass from Northern Kentucky, but they're still in the game. And Lisa Zare unable to play a fairly easy ball. I want to remind everybody, you're watching another sports exclusive here on Channel 23. Another strong serve, number 22, Jennifer Quast. Joni Smith unable to pass that ball. Jennifer Quast serving at 3-all here in the 5th game. Offensive breakdown for IPFW. It's tipped by Mesmer. Mesmer sets again. Oversets Prudy Downs. And it'll be 4 hits. That's a side out.
That kind of symbolizes their quick attack. I don't think they quite got it.
Jenna Plummer serving at 3-all. Nice float serve. Ann Fishburne having a world of trouble handling that one. Ball will be rolled over. And it's a free ball. Needs to be passed.
That's got to be their 3rd free ball they've made an error on. That's hurts.
That's been an Achilles heel of IPFW the whole season. Fishburne to serve for the Hill Climbers. Joni Smith setting it to Wilder. Thought Zare was under the net, but Prudy Downs get the big kill out of the middle. Point for Northern Kentucky. They take a 4-3 lead here in this 5th and crucial game. Fishburne to serve. Smith passes in the middle to Brown. Brown finds pay dirt from Wilder.
That was a nice comeback right there.
Side out for the Volleyball.
Well, let's see if they can get something rolling here. Get some scores going again.
IPFW needs to put a couple of runs together here. Try to squeeze out Northern Kentucky, but they're not doing it. If they keep mishandling the ball like that. And Prudy Downs comes with a big tip kill.
Found the open part of the court.
Open part of the court. IPFW just not having a great grasp of defense this evening. Well, at least in this game, they've had their moments. I'll grant you that much. Mesmer to serve. Joni Smith passing. Outside to Albersmeyer, and she is blocked. Farquhar was a big block for the Hill Climbers. Mesmer again to serve. The Hill Climbers take a 5-3 lead. Albersmeyer, the pass. And the running tip kill from Jamie Brown. That was a little tight, but Jamie Brown able to find the floorboards on that one.
That's a smart play. They started getting in a little trouble, so go back to something that's been working.
Albersmeyer, tight serve. Fishburne having a little difficulty with it. Prudy Downs with the tip. Fools nobody. Back into the middle. Out to Smith. Unable to find a kill. Prudy Downs again. And a mishit ball that unbelievably finds the back line.
Boy, that's hard to see when nobody goes after those type of balls. You got to at least make an effort to play that one up.
That's got to be heartbreaking. They mishit the ball and it finds in. That's Lady Luck just not finding your way. And another nice tip kill.
Boy, they're starting to abuse that spot over there. Northern Kentucky is starting to, if they get a little smart, they might send a defensive person over there.
They may have noticed that Northern Kentucky may be a little weak on that side, going right after it, trying to exploit some of the weaknesses. Nice block from IPFW. Northern Kentucky sets it outside. Free ball transition. Set to Smith, who rips the ball off Ann Fishburne for a point.
That was a nice job by
That's a nice shot. Wilder running the offense to perfection on that play. IPFW is still down in the 5th game, 4-5 though. And Jamie Brown serves it out of bounds. It'll be Northern Kentucky's ball. Another substitution. Glazier enters the lineup and will serve. And will serve. Something like that. Out to Joni Smith, who rips a strong line shot. Prudy Downs unable to return it for the Hill Climbers. Strong outside kill.
That's a sign of a good player when they start playing tough in the 5th game. They can still got their legs and still jumping and hitting hard.
That's a definite gut check, but I don't think either team has really been pushed. It's been mostly a slap and punch fight rather than a knockdown drag out one. Set outside. Fishburne off the block, but unable to control it into the court. It'll be a side out for the Hill Climbers. Farquhar to serve. They lead 5-4. That's a tough serve. Albersmeyer mishandles it. It'll be a free ball for Northern Kentucky. They'll look to ram it right down IPFW's throat, and it's passed over. They're looking around. They're looking confused, IPFW.
Oh, my. I don't know what they're doing out there.
I don't know either. It's hard to describe it. IPFW looking like a ship adrift at sea. Rudderless right now. Farquhar again to serve, up 6-4 here in the fifth and crucial game. Smith passing errantly. Nice block by Smith. Plummer off the block. Northern Kentucky controls into the middle. Unbelievable. Jennifer Quast gets another big kill out of the middle off the block, out of bounds. Again, another point for the Hill Climbers. They take a 7-4 lead. And again serving as Sherry Farquhar. Outside Albersmeyer. Sorry, that's Zare. Second option is Zare off the weak side, but it's played up by Prudy Downs. Mesmer outside of Fishburne. Smith takes the ball. She'll stay on the floor, hit it over. But the ball's hit out of bounds.
I believe Johnny must have hit that one outside the antenna.
Was that ball hit outside the antenna?
I think it must have been.
Must have been. Dan Brandt calls it out of bounds. IPFW down in this fifth game, 4-8. In this best of 5 series, this is the one that matters. They're down 8-4, and the Northern Kentucky really has a commanding lead. What do you do, Andy?
Boy,
What, do you slap them about in that huddle or what?
You gotta start settling them down and start pumping them full of encouragement and get them going.
I don't know, maybe get your brother to drop kick a couple of them, maybe wake them up a little bit. I don't know, folks. Coach must be beside himself right now. Northern Kentucky still serving. Sherry Farquhar up by 4 points, 8-4. And a kill out of the middle. Jennifer Quast, 22, big kill out of the middle. Unbelievable. IPFW getting hammered at the net now. Still serving. 9-4. IPFW's got to climb back into this one.
They're not going to get in it that way.
Not that way. IPFW's passing is simply failing them. The setter, Chris Wilder, trying to retrieve that, but she jumps in the net trying to save it. They're down 4-10. Joni Smith passing from the back row out to Zare. She rolls the ball, but it's easily played. It'll go outside to Fishburne, and it's blocked. Blocked by the Volleyball.
They need that side out. I think they got Zare passing a little bit here, too.
Andy, if they're going to make a move, it's got to be right here. Joni Smith, oh, that's a tough serve. Zare to set a ball that Wilder had to play. Northern Kentucky still in this rally, and it's tipped by Quast. IPFW just flailing at the net. Fishburne, big block by IPFW. And mishandled, but they're letting it play on. Free ball transition, second option, nobody up, but it's Doug Albersmeyer.
Boy, oh boy.
There you go, IPFW starting to show a little fire.
Boy,
IPFW
nice
gets the point on that one. They are down 5-10 though. Looking to fight back to get into this one. And they're going to have to do it with play like that. Joni Smith, another terrific, tough serve in the middle. They're all over that tip though. The second option is there. She's got to roll that one. Misfiring on that one. Outside to Fishburne. It's blocked, but it's played up by IPFW. IPFW offense looking very confused, Andy. It's blocked. Mesmer setting it outside to Fishburne, and she finds inside the net.
IPFW has no transition right now. Whenever they're making a dig, they just are not capitalizing on it.
Side out Northern Kentucky IPFW offense in complete disarray almost. Serving is Jennifer Qua Smith. Nice serve. She'll go to the second option to Zara. Zara's blocked though. Smith to set. Albersmeyer. But it's dug nicely by Northern Kentucky. There's a tip. Brown is all over that one. She'll go weak side. Zara rips it off. Rips it down line on the weak side attack. Glazier unable to control it. Side out. IPFW. IPFW still down 5-10 here in the fifth and deciding game.
Lisa Zara's hitting really nice right now. She hit a nice 2-ball a couple of plays back, and
well, she struggled. She struggled with a couple of balls, but she finally got that one weak side. Substitution in for IPFW. Erin Jones checks back in for Wendy Vanderwilt. I'm sorry, Jenna Plummer. And Fishburne sets it outside. Pretty Downs. And unable to control the ball is Chris Wilder. A lot of things going wrong for IPFW. Back into the ball game for Northern Kentucky is Linda Schnetzer. Finally got a rundown on that name. Serving his hand Fishburne. Erin Jones passing. Joni Smith thought it was out. But Erin Jones didn't. She had to pass the ball, but she passes it into the divider. Point for Northern Kentucky. You take 11. 11-5. And another service winner. Northern Kentucky takes a 12-5 lead here in this critical fifth game.
I don't know what Joni Smith is thinking about there. She's got to step in and pass that ball. She's the only one out there. I'm
not real sure either, Andy. Coach Ball's got to be thinking, what do I got to do? What do I got to tell these people?
He's got to slow this game down so they can start getting their momentum. But
well, they're getting run out of this game, I'll tell you that much, Andy. Second option, Wilder. Zare tips it. Free ball transition, a very scary part of IPFW's offense. But Brown is able to rip it off the block. Side out IPFW. IPFW is still very much down in this fifth game. They got to climb back. They're down 5-12. Lisa's there to serve, hoping to start the rally. But don't start it that way. Serves it into the net.
That might have been a backbreaker right
Yeah,
there.
that's a very emotional downturn. Messmer to serve again. Messmer serving. But Messmer returns the favor, serving out of bounds. 12-5, I guess they don't want it that much.
It's nice to see.
If you're going to get gifts like that, you might as well get them when you need them. Albersmeyer. IPFW, Northern Kentucky. And Northern Kentucky unable to play the ball over in three contacts. Point for IPFW. They're down 6-12. Albersmeyer still looking to serve to start the rally to get IPFW off and running. Erin Jones passing the free ball into Brown, but it's dug by Quast. Fishburne, and it's passed over. Another free ball transition. Smith right in the block. She's got to hit around that block if she's going to be successful.
Seems like she's trying to hit right through it.
Albersmeyer. Nice play by Zare to keep that ball alive, but IPFW's offense is misfiring. Another great defensive dig by Lisa Zare, but it's hit out of bounds. Point for IPFW.
IPFW winning these big rallies. They need to get those.
12-7. That's not so big a margin. You can possibly feel some of the momentum turning in favor of the Volleyball. Lollipop serve from IPFW's Albersmeyer, though. It'll be a tip out of Schnetzer. Erin Jones, a big defensive play, but Jones.
Oh, we needed that.
But Joni Smith just rolls it into the bottom of the net. Very tentative play on the part of Smith. Senior, you really don't expect that from your seniors to have that happen. You're going to hear an earful out of coach on that one. Albersmeyer passes weakly, though, unable to run a coherent offense, but his pass tied to the net, and a strong middle kill. Northern Kentucky all over that one. That's a point 13-7, and that may have been the signal to turn out the lights. This party may be over. But Prudy Downs returns another favor. She hits it into the net. And Jenna Plummer into the ball game. Jamie Brown to serve. They're down 7-13. Tough pass. And that's a back row attack from Messmer. That's illegal in volleyball. You can't have a back row personnel attacking the ball above the net in front of the 10-foot line. Set outside by Messmer. Weak side, Schnitzer finds her way through the block. Side out.
Sit that right down in front of her face. She didn't get her arms over.
Northern Kentucky not really penetrating the net is IPFW. Serving is Glazier. 13-8, looking to close it out. Albersmeyer. Total breakdown of passing has characterized this fifth game. Outside to Fishburne. And she finds her way through the net. It's now game and match point. 14-8 here in the fifth game. It's all or nothing. Outside to Smith, who hits it long. And that's the match. IPFW succumbs to the Hill Climbers of Northern Kentucky in 5. Northern Kentucky wins the first game. IPFW wins the second and third game by the scores of 15-5, 15-0. The Hill Climbers climb right back, trouncing IPFW 15-5, and then closing out the series 15-8. Big disappointed ending, Heffron.
I'm certainly disappointed with the way IPFW played. I thought that they started to look really strong after that first game, and then they lost it the last two. They fell completely apart. They stopped passing once again like they did in the first game, and they plainly got outserved. Got served off the court.
Inconsistencies and really unable to work a consistent offense on the transition. When you get a free ball and you're unable to get the kill, that really hurts your defense and offense, doesn't it?
That's certainly true. It's nice to see, and we practice it a lot. Whenever you get a free ball, you're supposed to put that ball away almost all the time. And if you're not doing that, then you're not going to win the match.
You gotta get at least something 80 to 90% of the time when you get a free shot at it by the opposing team. And when you don't do it, it's going to be a long night for everybody involved. I thought IPFW played really well in the games that they did win. But when Northern Kentucky started to serve very well, just everything started to break down for IPFW.
I know as a passer, if you start shackling a couple passes here and there, then you get really tentative, and then that can throw your whole game off. So
IPFW, when their passing broke down, though, everything seemed to be breaking down, though. They're blocking, they're serving, and it wound up with a defeat for the IPFW Volleyball. To wrap it up, folks, IPFW loses in the finals of the IPFW Women's Volleyball Tournament. They lose 3-2 to Northern Kentucky. For Channel 23 Sports, for Andy Heffron, I'm Bob Kramer, and for the entire staff of Channel 23 Sports, good night, everybody.